Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 2013 BMW M6 Coupé. Now this is the third generation, produced between 2012 and June 2019, when it was replaced by the M8. And this is also available as a convertible and a Grand Coupé. The Grand Coupé basically being a four-door version of this, but with a coupe style body. And this is basically just a two-door M5 with some changes. Those changes including, as far as I'm concerned, improved styling. I think it looks better at the front and at the rear, while also with it being a coupe looking a lot better as a side profile, and looks a lot more sporty, as coupes generally do look more sporty than saloon cars. But yeah, just in terms of the front and the rear, it looks a lot better than the M5 from 2012, which I'm comparing this against. And it also has a carbon fibre roof, reducing the center of gravity a little bit. Also has other improving weight saving measures that reduces the weight overall by 44 pounds compared to the M5, but it still does weigh a fair old amount of 4,255 pounds. So yeah, far from a lightweight coupe by any means, but it's still got plenty of power, and from its engine, and because it is still a really rather large car, it's not sacrificed much in the way of practicality over the saloon car, because it's still got plenty of room in the front. It's still got rear seats obviously at the rear, which there's still a fair decent amount of room there, though with the sloped coupe body you're not going to have quite as much headroom. And it's still got a fairly spacious boot as well, as you can see. So even though you ain't got the rear doors and you ain't got as much headroom in the rear, it's still fairly practical, especially for a coupe. And like I said, the power on this is still really rather good. Pretty much the same as the M5 at 560 horsepower and 500 pounds-feet of torque from a 4.4 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine, which is still pretty good even by today's standards. And a big improvement over the previous generation M6, which granted had a bigger engine but only around 500 horsepower. So it's got power over the previous generation, though it does weigh around 300 pounds more than the previous generation, which was hardly a lightweight in the first place. So not got much in the way of lightweightness, despite obviously having that carbon fibre roof and additional weight saving features. But nonetheless, this is still a really rather luxurious coupe, which not only is sporty and practical, but also would eat the miles in terms of long distance. If you're going on a Grand Tour, or you're going just a few hundred miles, this would eat the miles, because you've got all the luxury that you could ever want, while all of the speed and power as well to go with it. So I really do like this car. I do prefer it to the same generation M5, and it's on par with the previous M6. Better looking, but not got quite as much of a charismatic engine. But nonetheless, let's get out onto the open road and see just what this car can do. Now, despite not having quite the charismatic engine of the previous M6, while also dealing with additional weight, this is still a really good fun car to drive, quite frankly. And handles far better than a car of this kind of weight should do, and it deals with its weight really rather well as well. And even though the engine doesn't sound quite as good as the previous M6, which was obviously a naturally aspirated V10, this is obviously a turbocharged V8, it's still really rather a good performance vehicle overall. And with it looking better than the previous M6 as well, it does have that going for it, as well as obviously the extra speed, the extra acceleration, and being a newer car, it's obviously going to have more of a luxurious feel to it and more modern feel to it as well. So even though I would have really liked the previous generation M6, purely because it's just a car with one of the best engines ever put in a modern day coupe, that's pretty much all it has over this, whereas this, like I said, has a speed, acceleration, and the better looks. And speaking of speed, its acceleration times are really rather good as well. At 0 to 60 4.1 seconds, 0 to 100 in 8.514 seconds, and it went to a top speed of, this game says 205, but the apparently recorded unlimited with the restrictors off in real life is 190. Either way, that is still really rather good. Obviously with the restrictors on, it's only 155. But nonetheless, it gets to even 3 of those speeds fairly well. And yeah, like I was saying, you can do pretty much anything with this car. You can be vigorous with it and slide it out all you want, which is what this car seems to encourage more than the M5 certainly. Or you can drive it seriously like an M5 and yeah, it will respond accordingly, or you can just drive it sensibly and yeah, it will grip any day, all days, and brake really rather well as well. And yeah, like I said, it does handle its weight far better than a car of this weight really should, especially one with rear wheel drive and yeah, the amount of power that this has. So yeah, I really rather enjoy this. I'm enjoying this car more than I ever have done before, because obviously this isn't the first time the M6 has been a part of the Forza game, but yeah, for whatever reason I'm enjoying this a lot more now than I ever did before. And yeah, for whatever reason it seems to does encourage more of a lunatic kind of driving style than the M5, which overall does seem like a really rather serious performance vehicle, while this, despite, you know, having the same kind of power, same engine, generally the same, you know, platform, same kind of weight, just seems to want to be driven in a more fun way, which is something I can really get on board with, especially since it does handle being driven in that kind of way really rather well. Again, especially when you've got that kind of weight. So yeah, cracking vehicle. And yeah, even though obviously the M6 name is no longer around, pretty sure the M8 is going to be virtually the same kind of vehicle, you know, coupe, rear wheel drive, front engine. I'm pretty sure it also has the same engine as well. So yeah, even though the name has gone, even though quite frankly the name has been on and off over the past 30 years or so, it was originally around in 1983, only lasted until 1989, and then was away for 16 years, came back in 2005, lasted until 2010, then another 2-year gap, and then it came back again. So yeah, it's no surprise that the name has finally gone, but yeah, hopefully the M8 will be just as good, if not better than this, because yeah, it's easily one of my favourite modern coupes. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.